Boom! Coming in hot, Chinchy. How we feeling, cuz?
Dude, did you realize first of all, we're about a couple days away from our 2 year anniversary of doing this show, and you realize you said boom coming in hot on the first one, and
Did,
you've said it
did I?
241 times now. This is our 241st show. You have said boom coming in hot 241 times on camera. I just thought about that.
That's a, that's a lot of boom coming in hot right there.
That is a lot of boom coming in hot. I love it though. Dude, we were just talking before we came on. I'm still on a high from Pete, dude,
Dude,
yesterday.
bro, I have like now I'm like a Pete Corielli fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm like going to listening to all his shows. Like literally, I listened to our show, which I thought was incredibly funny. If you have not listened to it, do yourself a favor.
Please
If you're
do.
listening to this, go listen to yesterday's show. It's incredible. Pete is such a funny, such a funny guy, just a genius of just how he
Genius.
thinks about things. I mean, and the Sebastian Pete and Sebastian show, they've been doing that for 9 years.
Nine
Sebastian
years. Yeah.
Maniscalco, him and Maniscalco,
Yep.
dude, that show is incredible. They do it once a week. I think have 500 some episodes, 600
Yeah, and
episodes, something
it's
ridiculous.
so good. It's so
It's
good.
so good.
And
It's
like
so good.
and they talk. You gotta. We were talking about this on our show yesterday, but like how busy those two guys are. That's not like a half-ass show either. They go like an hour. Sometimes they'll go like an hour and 20 minutes, and everything they say is just so funny. Like they're the best, man. And dude, I mean, what a super nice guy. We were texting afterwards. I'm like so excited. If he comes here to Long Island, I'm going. No question. No
Oh, me too,
question.
dude. If he's coming to Long Island, I'm going to. He said
Okay.
if he comes to Pittsburgh, you got to come.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, hey, dude, I can't believe opening day is tomorrow. Whoops, my alarm's going
No,
off.
I know, dude. I can't believe it either. And I think the cool thing about it is all 30 teams play on the same day. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, shout out to Tony Petiti for that one. I think that was his idea
Yeah.
back in the day
Yeah.
when he was still with the
Yeah. It's
commissioner's
awesome.
office.
Great job, Tone. Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys,
Great.
you're at the network today. It's got to be a lot of predictions going. Are you doing all your prediction shows?
Yeah.
What
Yeah, we're
time are
doing
you on? By the way,
yeah, we're
talk.
doing a prediction a show, I think, on the network today. I think 3 o'clock, 3 to 5. And I think it'll probably air later. But, there's one thing, dude, when you start looking at the predictions, stuff, you start realizing there's a lot of good talent in the big leagues. So it's me a little fun year to just watch some great athletes. Some guys that are, even some of the young guys. We're looking at rookie of the year. You got Jordan Walker, Corbin Carroll, Miguel Vargas, Senga out there. With the Mets. I mean, there's some studs. Tovar with the Rockies. Then you got Volpe's here, Gunnar Henderson, Yoshida from Japan, Hunter Brown, Grayson Rodriguez. They got Tristan Cassis out in Boston. They got some stud young players. So it's going to be, the prediction show is fun.
That's good. I got a good question for you about rookies and hitting in a lineup. You were probably still at the top of the line when you came up. Did they drop you 7, 8, 9, or did they throw you right into the 2, 3 hole?
When I first came up with when I got traded over to the Reds, Jack McKeon put me in the 3 hole, and I
Wow.
got yeah, and well, I got hurt, came back from the injury, I came back, and he put me in the 3 hole, and I was like, poop soup, dude. I was terrible, and I was like, they got to get me out of this 3 hole ASAP. You know what I mean? Like I was like, just because I was like almost embarrassed because I was a young kid, I wasn't hitting well, but I remember Jack McKeon saying something to me that I'll never forget. I I had an orbital fracture. I was out for 6 weeks. I end up going down to the minors, for like 3 games. I rake there. I'm 6 for 12. Have a good thing. I get called back up. First game, I go 3 for 4. Then I go 0 for 35. 0 for 35. Just they sent me
Wow.
back to the minors to AAA. My eye wasn't ready. Like I had an orbital fracture. My eye vision wasn't ready. And I remember going down to AAA and just being like, okay, like I got to just figure this out mentally more than anything. Like I got to mentally get back to like get perspective. Like you just had a career-ending, a career-threatening, almost a career-ending injury. You're coming back from that. You're 8 weeks out. The big leagues is a lot faster. Just give us. So I went down there for 30 days. I did pretty well. Got called back up. And when I got called back up, man, those nerves came back again. I'm young. Barry Larkin's the shortstop. All these veteran players, Willie Harris, there's a lot of intimidating guys. And I was just traded for the number one starter, Dave Burba. I'm sure the guys in the team were like, what the heck? This guy stinks. You know what I mean? And I remember Jack McKeon grabbing me. And there's nothing worse as a player, man, when you have to worry about, you know, if I go 0 for 4, am I going to play tomorrow?
Oh,
Like,
forget it.
that's the worst feeling. You know what I mean? You don't ever want to have that feeling. And I was starting to feel that when I came up because I was hitting like 150. I was, initially. I remember Jack McKeon called me in his office. He goes, "Hey, listen." He goes, "You're penciled in every day at third. You're going to hit third every day for us." He goes, "I don't care if you hit 150 or 200 the whole year. You're playing every day and you're hitting third. You've hit. You're going to hit. You've always hit, and you're going to hit in the big leagues." I tell you what, man, that took such a weight off my shoulders. Like, listen, for any leaders out there or managers or whoever, if you got some kids that are great or are really talented, sometimes it's a confidence boost like that. It's just great positive language that they need to hear that says, okay, somebody's got my back. And not only somebody, but the guys running the ship's got my back. I know for me, Chinch, I hit 300 in the second half. I hit all my homers in the second half. And I did pretty well, which kind of led into my 1999 year. But without that conversation with Jack McKeon, I still wonder to this day, where my year would have gone in 98, and maybe even where my career would have gone,
I love that. Here's the second part of that we haven't talked about. Don't platoon, man. You want to bring somebody up, don't platoon them. I want to see Anthony Volpe hitting the toughest righties, for example. Like, you especially on the great teams, like I think it was Rizzo the other day said, the great thing about having Volpe up here, we can bat him. He can bat ninth. He doesn't have to bat third for the first time in his life, and we'll take care of him. Just go out there, and when you come up to the plate, hit. You don't have to worry about being the best player on the Yankees. There's a lot to that. I think when you find a lot of guys that win like Rookie of the Year and stuff, it's because they can just be themselves without having to carry a baseball team. That's where a lot of these rookies are coming in now, I think.
Well, he could slide it. Volpe just needs to be himself. If he hits 20 homers and steals 40 or 50 bags, which I think he actually could do, that he complements that lineup so much. Now they got speed. They got a guy that can pick it. They got a guy that's got a little more power too. One thing I loved when you said Rizzo, Chinch, I think this is so important when I look back. And I look back at Rizzo, Bryant, Baez, these guys that were like, oh man, they're the next generation of the Cubs. These guys are the reason that they won a championship. But go back and look at, it is so important when you get called up as a rookie who the veteran guys are. When you go back to Rizzo coming up with the Cubs and Bryant and those guys, they learned from David Ross. They learned from John Lackey. They learned from John Lester. They learned from Ben Zobrist. They learned from a lot of veteran players that helped them along to become the players they were. And then look at the careers that they have. They're always talked about leaders in the clubhouse. Hey, Rizzo, man, when he came over to the Yankees, we got a leader in the clubhouse. A true leader takes a lot of burden off Judge and these guys to be the leaders. Rizzo's the guy. Yeah, Rizzo's the guy because Ross was a Lester. These guys taught him how to be a leader. So I look at Volpe coming up where, this guy is, it's looking back at Jeter with Paul O'Neill and Brocious and these animals that played the game right, played the game hard, taught him how to be pros. I know a guy like me, Barry Larkin, Greg Vaughn, Pete Harness, they taught me how to be a pro. For a guy like Anthony Volpe, dude, the Yankees have to be so fired up. And they had to think it through too. Bringing Rizzo back, they know what he means.
Yes.
Rizzo, Stanton, Judge, to be able to teach Volpe how to be a pro. It's different at the pro. It's different at the big league level than the minor league level where you're the guy. You're at the big league level. It's just a different world. It's a third deck. It's more media. It's a lot of more. There's a lot of more moving parts in the big league. So for him to have those veteran guys, that is so important, man.
I love that. 2 points on this. I pulled up. So Jeter's rookie year. We forget because he's an all-time hitter, right? These are great numbers though. 314, 10 homers, 78 RBIs, 14 stolen bases, 25 doubles. That's unbelievable. You don't need it. Like we're in such like a me now thing. Like if you're a rookie, come up and get through the season, right? Get through the season. Your numbers will be there if you're that good, I think, right? Like you don't come up as a rookie. Look at like Gary Sanchez, where he stayed with the Yankees. He came up, hit like 17 homers in a month and a half, and you're like, oh, here we go, the greatest Johnny Bench. Here comes Johnny Bench. And now I don't even know if is he on a roster? He's still looking, I think. Or if he's signed, he's not starting catcher somewhere. It's like, you got to have patience with these kids too. And again, I love having like the rookie on a veteran team, like you said. Like it's just cool because you can root for them the same way like their teammates are. And dude, I'm telling you, when they were talking on the Yankees about not signing Rizzo back, I'm like, how do you not sign? Forget about the numbers. His numbers are going to be good.
Right.
He's not going to strike out. He's going to get huge hits for you. But he is one of the best veterans. And you go back to that World Series, the guy who had his arm around him for that entire year was David Ross, who we consider one of the greatest managers there is right now. And you need those guys on a team. I just feel like you just need them.
No, you need those veteran guys. And you look at some of the young guys like a Jeremy Pena.
Yeah, go there.
He comes up with all those veteran guys. You got J-Rod, Michael Harris, with the Braves, guys that have already been there. I mean, it's going to be great to see some of these guys sophomore years after they've been, come into the league. But like I said, guys like Volpe and Jordan Walker and these, like Jordan Walker goes to the Cardinals, gets called up, and makes that club. Well, you got Adam Wainwright, you got Arenado and Goldschmidt to teach you how to be a pro. I mean, it's invaluable to an organization to sign those types of guys.
Yeah, and on the flip side, man, it's so fun that first week seeing a guy like Verlander in a new uniform, seeing guys on their new teams. You went out, you paid the money, you made your moves. Now here we go. Let's let it eat a little bit. Like, what else? What else do we have out there? Verlander's a Met.
Well,
what else? Go.
Also too, Chinch, just talking about opening day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the dawn of everyone's 0-0. I don't care who you are, the Pirates, the Reds, whoever. You're 0-0. Your team. I think for every fan, you're like, okay, we got a shot. We got a shot to do something. And for a player, man, opening day, when you're nothing better than driving to the park on opening day, and you see the excitement in the city, and you're pulling in, it's going to be a sold out crowd. In Cincinnati, we'd have like 55, the greatest opening day ever in Cincinnati, dude. Like it was literally like a national holiday. But the next day you'd have like 9 people. The next day it'd be like 9 people. You know what I mean? So you were going to enjoy opening day and the festivities and everything that went along with it. So it's exciting for the fans. Tomorrow is going to be exciting for all the fans. All the players are just as excited as the fans are because it's the dawn of a new season, man. And it's in your mind, you've just been done with spring training, and you're thinking to yourself, I'm going to have a monster year this year.
Yeah, I agree. And also, it's like, man, you forget so much goes on. And there's so many players that play Major League Baseball. Like, I love that first week, especially when I was actually working in baseball, going, well, I got to do a little bit of studying here. I didn't know this guy was on the Rangers. I didn't know this guy was on the Dodgers. Holy crap! Oh boy, it's a lot.
So many new additions, dude. So many new. That's what we're going over. We just went over that meeting. I'm like, wow, this is a lot of moving parts. People.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Oh man. So who's the team? Is there a team? I'm gonna put you on a spot a little bit. Is there a team you're excited about this year that maybe you weren't last year? That you're like, wait a minute. I think these guys could either get to that next level, or they've brought in enough guys where you're like, ooh, this team just got a lot better. Tough question, sorry.
No. I like it. I think, when you really break down the Padres, I know they brought in Xander Bogaerts, but they're getting Tatis back. Soto had a monster spring training. Like, he looked like Juan Soto. Last year, he just didn't have that great year. This year, he had a monster spring training. He knows that contract's around the corner. So I think one thing when I look at the Padres, they also signed back guys that were huge for them. Suarez, they brought back the reliever. They brought back Martinez. Haters, they're still. And then they added Xander Bogaerts. So they also added Nelson Cruz. Don't forget about the boomstick just slides in. Oh, the boomstick
slides in with 30 homers every year.
They added Matt Carpenter too. Like,
right. See, there you go. We forget about Matt Carpenter. Was the hottest hitter in baseball the last 20
and then got hurt. Yeah, so they got some pieces. When I look at that club, man, they got some pieces that I think they got a shot to make some noise. There's no doubt about it. I think the Rangers got better bringing in DeGrom in that rotation. Also, John Gray. They also brought Andrew Heaney in too. So they got better. One thing about the Yankees, Rodon's hurt, for at least another month, right? Severino's out too, right? Nestor Cortez has that hamstring. Like, that's when you think the Yankees. I tell you the truth. I was thinking the Yankees, we're going to win this year, and I'm just, just health wise, man. You got to stay healthy.
You need like 12 pitchers on your team, man. You need 12 guys who can start a freaking baseball.
You really do. You have to have a rotation of 8.
I believe that. I agree.
Yeah. It's not just 5 guys because they never, no one's ever healthy for the whole year,
Never.
especially in the
And yeah, especially pitching rotation. Man,
yeah.
so much to think
So,
about here. What else we got? What else are you talking? Who
well,
was your researcher today? That was good research you just brought on the table.
oh yeah, Mark Matcham. Match is the
Oh,
best, dude.
Match. He's as good as
Match is the
anybody in the
best,
game, man. Oh,
dude.
tell me what's up.
He is the best, dude. Whenever I see him on the research, on the shows, I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Um,
By the way, Mark
uh, the,
Matcham played in little known fact, played in the Cape Cod League on the same team as Eric Burns. Match was
oh, did he really?
legit. Like mid '90s, I think he hurt his arm or shoulders.
He hurt his arm, dude. He had shoulder surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Our one of our main research
Mm-hmm.
guys probably should have been in the big leagues, but he
Yeah.
ended up blown out.
Yeah. Well, but at least he's giving you the research now, so you win. You win. I don't know if Match won out of that one. Anyway.
Yeah, dude. You know who's going to be a big key?
Who's that?
That's kind of a side thing too. With the Braves, Sean Murphy. They got that trade with the A's. Dude, this guy has got a cannon, and I really believe with these bigger bases, you're going to see the base stealers stealing more.
Oh, I like
Turner
that.
might have 60 bases instead of 40. Mullins might have 70 instead of 50. Whatever. I think you're gonna see those guys steal more. Hang on a second here. Hang on.
Yeah, go. What do you got? Wow.
I got this. Dude, right outside my office.
Oh, you got the
on
base?
new base.
Oh,
new
cool,
base.
dude. Well,
Can
you
you
got to
tell
push
how
it in.
big
You're in the. You got to push it in front of you because your Zoom thing.
Okay.
Oh, there it goes.
Can you tell how big these things look? Like a pizza box? Look how big they are.
It's huge. It's huge, dude.
Yeah. It's like they're definitely a lot bigger.
Do you think guys are going to be tripping over them more?
No, but I still don't understand why they're so hard and slick. Like you know how many guys
Dude.
get hurt when it gets a little wet out there? How slick these bases? They should really go to like the old school softball.
Remember?
bases we used
Yeah,
to go
no.
to.
Remember
Yeah.
when you were a kid and they had like a little thing, like a hole, and it was just they were like soft bags. You could slide into second base and hug the thing and grab it and like cuddle it. Like, what's wrong with that?
Remember you go before the game and like put those pegs in
Yeah,
and then
yes.
tie the base in.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's baseball season, man.
No, that's what I mean, dude. I think they should eventually go back to those
Why not?
bases. Remember Bryce Harper a few years ago? I think he blew out his ACL, like
Yes.
slipped on the base, and
Yes.
like
Let them
I think
break
the
off too.
bases-
How about this? You have replay. When you slide in, if your foot touches that bag before the guy touches you, you're safe. And if the bases can pop out, you won't blow out. You can't blow out as much. If the problem with people blowing out on the base pass is, it's trying to move an immovable object, and all your tendons and shit can get jammed
Right.
up,
No,
or
it's
your
true.
thumbs, fingers.
how many fingers do the guys break?
Yeah.
Into the base or whatever.
There's nothing.
true.
There's nothing uglier, by the way. There's nothing uglier in baseball than the fucking oven mitt that some guys have to put on their hands.
Dude, everybody's wearing those things
Yeah,
now, dude.
those things are like this. It looks like you're going to take out a fucking chicken cacciatore. Instead, you're trying to steal second in a big game. I don't know why. They just look so dumb. Make them look nicer. You can make them look better. Come on, Nike.
It's so true. Dude, one of the best lines in the show yesterday when you're like, yeah, my mom used to crush heaters after dinner and put it out on the mashed potatoes.
Dude, that's a fact. It's a fact, bro. It's true. Right after dinner, because my brother smoked cigarettes too since he was like 16 years old. And I'm sitting at the kitchen table, just finished dinner. We got like Three's Company on, Everybody's just ate. My mom was such a good cook. Like I'm telling you, no joke. You mean like a meatloaf and mashed potatoes? Bam! As soon as everybody's done eating, my mom. I don't recommend this to anybody. My mom would just be sitting there. Plus, she also had a couple of white wine spritzes in her by that hour from cooking.
White wine spritzer.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Pinot Grigio, white wine spritzer, just have it. It's like ingrained in my head. And she would just finish. She'd finish her last one, and it'd just go. And it would like smoke the taters or something. Or I'm telling you, dude, anything we ate. If it was pasta fagioli, there'd be freaking two empty cigarettes in a pasta fagioli bowl.
It's so funny, dude. Dude, my mom used to smoke, but not when I was alive. Like she smoked. Well, maybe
Before.
that's why I'm a little messed up. She smoked while I was
That's what our parents did in that generation. That's why That's why I'm 4'2".
But my mom would say, she stopped smoking probably years ago. She smoked for like 14 years though, from she was 19 to like 33. Then I think after she had me, she stopped after. But she said she still likes the smell of a good cigarette. So what she would do is like at my games in like high school, there'd be a couple ladies would smoke down the line. My mom would go sit behind them, just to
And just smell
you know,
it.
get a little
Oh,
secondhand smoke.
I got one. My coach.
Nowadays,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
No, my coach, Mike Piankos, my high school coach, him and my mom were tight. First of all, this is also crazy. Mike Piankos is living with Jess's uncle's wife's mother. They met like 4 years ago. I got a phone call like 2 years ago from Jess's uncle who lives in Florida. He's like, "Do you know Rich's baseball coach from high school is with with my wife's mom?" We were like, "What?" I've gone over to his house like recently. I brought my dad over there and like we all hang out, all the families together. Anyway, he mastered heaters to a point where he could have a full heater like in his hand while he's like coaching third base and just be like between innings while he's just standing there like that. Nobody ever noticed it. I hope I'm not letting a cat out of the bag, but him and my mom used to sneak heaters on the side. Like she would sit over by like third where he's coaching third, and it would just fire off heaters in the breaks. I don't think he smokes anymore, Shaman. Don't take that.
Dude, nobody mastered heaters better than Jim Leland. When he get fired in there, and just he could get it going. But dude, how about this? This is a great heater story.
I got another
We're
one.
taking a flight. We're taking a flight one time to California, playing the Angels and with the Tigers, and in the back were me, Maglio Ordonez, Carlos Guillen, and I think Brandon Inge. We're playing cards. We play cards all the time. And Leland would come back and play with us, right? So this one day he comes back to play with us. And meanwhile, I've lost like a few $1,000. So I'm like, that's it. I'm like, anyone that's the house is winning. So I'm like, I'm the house tonight, guys.
Yeah.
I'm taking all the best. So anyway, I end up winning. I end up winning my money back and then some. But Leland's back there with us on a flight, 4.5-hour flight from Detroit to Anaheim, just ripping heaters. And I think Maglio said something to him like, "Hey, Skip." He's like, there's no smoking on the flight. He's like, "Hey, listen, I'm the skipper. I'll do whatever I want on the flight." It's like 2007. I was like, "Well, Skip, it's 2007. I think they stopped smoking heaters on flights about 20 years ago." He's like, "Not when you're the manager of the big leagues, boys. You can do whatever you want."
That's so great. Bill Ripken told us once that senior, he used to throw BP. He smoked so many heaters, and he would put the cigarette in his mouth and throw BP, and he would smoke it down to a filter to nothing, till nothing left. And Bill said like when he was older, he had like a little mark on his upper lip because he would just burn through his lip, just firing off heaters while he's throwing like perfect BP all day. It's the greatest story. I think he's told it on the air before.
Dude, I was still in the generation where guys were smoking heaters. I remember Jeff Manto?
Yeah.
Mick Manto used to hit bombs at AAA, had 5-6 years in the big leagues. But my first time getting called up to AAA, Manto's, already a wily vet, and he crushed one in left center in the Buffalo, gone, comes in, puts his helmet back. I'm getting ready to go up, and he's just like,
amazing,
ripping a heater right on the steps there. I'm like, this is incredible.
It's unbelievable.
Like
There's baseball cards. There's baseball cards with guys with heaters in their mouths, like from like the 70s. It's the craziest thing. We don't condone smoking on the mayor's office, everybody. Don't do it. But
no, I think the 79 Pirates, the We Are Family Pirates, I think they all smoke. It's 25.
Yeah, well, they're
25 guys.
Wasn't the parrot dealing cocaine or something back then? That was a crazy time.
Yeah, that's another level. He was smoking more than heaters.
That's true.
Dude, how about in Korea? The guys that go over to Korea in like the fifth inning, they have a smoke break. They call timeout.
What?
There's a 20-minute smoke break, dude, for the players and the fans. The fans all go out and they just start ripping heaters everywhere.
That's so good. That's not good. It's not good, but it's hysterical.
It's true though. That's true. It happens today, 2023. They're still firing the heaters up in Korea.
I used to say
inning 5. Instead of the 7th inning stretch, it's the 5th inning heater stretcher.
Wait, so here, this is good. When we first started at the network, me and a couple other guys, I was smoking at the time. I was smoking cigarettes, and I don't know if it's not there anymore. They got rid of a bit at MLB Network. There used to be it was like an outdoor area that had like a picnic table. It was kind of like a little outdoor lounge thing. But the few guys, we used to be like, hey, you want to head over to Heaterville? We think Wrigleyville, and we'd be sitting there working whatever, and you get through the meetings and you just kind of get a break, and I would get a message. I'm not going to out a couple of people, but one of them we were both very, very close with. And I would just see a top line message on my like EMPS where we put our rundowns in and be like, Heaterville, question mark, question mark. And then it got to a point we had this group of people that were doing it where somebody would just send a blast email and it would just be a picture. Like, you ever see the picture of like the 3-year-old kid who's smoking a cigarette or like the old lady that's smoking like 50 at once, like with the thing? We just started sending those and then we would just walk out to Heaterville and fire off a heater and go back in.
Oh my God, so great, dude.
Oh my
Heaterville, it's so good.
Heaterville.
Did you have a smoking lounge in high school?
It was there, but you couldn't smoke. By the time I got to high school, there was no smoking, and that's when I was in high school going into college was when they started banning indoor smoking anywhere. But in all the yearbooks from my high school, it's like you see the brothers and the priest sitting there just like this, like in the middle of like English class. I can't imagine what life was like back then. That's crazy. Joe DiMaggio used to smoke cigarettes in commercials, and he's one of the greatest baseball players of all time. He's like, I like my Pall Malls. Like, crazy.
Everyone thought it was okay. It was good for you back then.
It was good for you. It cleaned out the system.
The tobacco industry was stealing your money and your lungs at the same time.
Crazy. Oh, my God. All right, I think we've said it all, dude. You got to get back to work. We've done more than I thought we would do here today. Yeah. You got more?
Awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah, I got a prediction show today. MLB Network, tune in if you can, 3 to 5. I had to just, dude, MLB Network's not on YouTube TV anymore. Mm-hmm. So I had to just get Fubo TV. Fubo TV has all the sport channels. So dude, by the way, my mom, I had to get her, hooked up for the Big Ten Network last night because Kent State played Indiana and Jake was back last night. And so I'm trying to tell my mom, you got to download. So can you imagine what Joan Casey?
It's impossible.
82, technologically challenged. My dad doesn't even have a phone, right? Which is good. It's probably one of the best decisions he ever made.
Great.
I sometimes wish I was with my dad that way. I'm talking to my mom. Mom, I know you're listening to this. You got to clean it up. It took you 35 minutes to put in a password for the Big Ten Network. You finally got it. But it was like, I'm like, Mom, the game has already started. We're in the second inning. You got it G. I give her a go through my whole password. She's like, she keeps hitting the menu bar on the Apple TV. It takes you back. I go, Mom, don't hit the menu.
Oh, my God.
Don't hit the menu. It takes you back.
No, it's impossible, dude. You can't. We got my dad a Fire Stick for Christmas last year. It's still in the freaking box, man. And he's like, I heard this show's on. What channel is on? I'm like, Dad, he doesn't even have DVR, man. He can't rewind. You can't go into his house. You can't, watch Blue Bloods at night or something and fast forward through the commercial breaks or pause it when you got to go take a leak. If you go to my dad's house, you're watching it or you're not. Like back when we were kids where it's like you have to run and elbow your family to try to get in and take the leak first before you get back out and the show gets back on at 8:13 again.
To watch the A-Team?
That's like my dad's house. Dude, it was so bad. We just got him an HD TV. It was about 3 or 4 years, dude, before he got an HD TV. And we would go over there. I would always go over there on Sundays, and we watch a Giants game. And you watch Eli Manning drop back and leave the screen because his TV was still in 4:3, and the rest of the world was HD. And he'd be like, "Oh, what's the score? I can't see that." I'm like, "Dad, because the Jets they're off the screen. The Chiron is off the screen, Dad. You have your TV. And it was the most beautiful TV." In 1995, it was one of those that was like a big box, but it was in a box.
2,000 pounds.
Oh my God! Getting it out of the house, I broke every bone in my body.
6 people to pick those up. Now you can press one. It's like my mom.
Oh my God! Yeah, you just carry two 70 inches.
Back then it was like we need 7 friends to come over to move this TV box.
I'm telling you, this is what it looked like. Said hike, and then you would just see a ball. And you just see a ball go and be like, what? Oh, he caught it. And then the guy would run out of the screen on that side. He's good now, though. He's all right. Get back to work. Say hi to all my boys over there today, man.
All right, brother. Chancey, great seeing you, brother. And everyone out there, thanks for listening again. We'll see everybody tomorrow. See you, bud.